Morning gang, welcome back. So day 2 of corn harvest. So we've got a bit of a pile here. You would have, if you watched the last one, seen it under the lights. So seems to be all sort of working all right at the moment. It's about 90 tonne here so far. And then what we've done this morning, we've just put, we had some more tank panels there, so we've just got to and we put some panels around the top of that silo bottom, so now Brendan can drop a full load in here with the chaser bin and then just leave the auger running, and then it'll unload while he's gone. So yeah, which will hopefully speed the process up a bit. We're getting held up a little bit, which is no big drama, but yeah, it's sort of, if he can, it'll just mean we're not held up as much. Yeah, weather's still good. Doesn't look like it's what's going on here? GPS is doing funny. Header's got a bit of a gremlin in it at the moment. I'm not too sure what the go is. What's that button? Voting not completed due to less modules. Special instructions. Any case wizards? Not sure about that one. Anyway, so yeah, we'll get into it. But yeah, it's not going to rain today, not going to rain tomorrow. They did have a bit for middle of next week, but yeah, we'll just see how that pans out. Well, rolling along pretty well. What we've putting that extra ring around where Brendan's dumping it in, it's working pretty well. I haven't had to sort of pull up yet. I am sort of not far off the entrance into the paddock. Yield monitor's starting to settle down. What happened was, when you lift the front up and down, it's actually got a height set where you can preset that height, where it basically engages the yield monitor and when it cuts off. So what had happened was, it was counting the tonnes, but we weren't mapping on the yield maps, and hence like we had a tonnes per hectare. When I looked last night when we knocked off, we'd only done sort of 0.3 per hectare, so I'm like, oh, it's not actually counting the hectares. So yeah, I adjusted that last night, and because we're about 280 tonne per hectare, which is slightly high, so it is slowly working its way back. So but it's a bit hard to give an accurate yield of what it's actually doing, just because we don't have this thing calibrated, but thinking we're around that 17 tonne to the hectare. Yeah, just see how we go. We're getting a fair stack over there. I don't know what we're going to do here, because it's not all going to fit in. Yeah, so anyway, we'll cross that one when we come to it, but yeah, going alright at the moment, which is good yields after a fair bit of work. It's, yeah, pretty pleasing. So yeah, we'll see how it pans out, but yeah, not having enough room is a good problem to have. Alright, so what's actually happened is our ring is full. So I think there's about, we're sort of working roughly 200 tonne here, 190 tonne. We're a bit full around this side. I'm just going over the edge. So what I've gone and done is, I've gone and borrowed hide, probably hide. We'll have to give Cam something for it for using it. Yeah, fellows offered a silo bagger up. So we did actually used to own one of these things many moons ago, and sort of got rid of it because we weren't really using it, and probably not growing enough grain to justify having one. I have been looking at buying another one, but what we might do is, while we've got this one here, we might copy it and build one in time. Be a good winter project. Yeah, so we'll I'll show you what the go is next time, but essentially you put the grain in the top and it just makes the big sausage for you. So we do have a couple of bags that I've had in the shed from when we used to have a bagger. Hoping they're still alright. Brendan got them down there before, so we've got, I reckon, about 150 tonne left to do. So yeah, I think they should still be alright with a bit of luck. Yeah, we'll get them out in the morning and have a look anyway. But yeah, I don't see why they shouldn't be. So plan is Tony's back on decks, so plan is we'll probably try and get the air seeder going again tomorrow, and yeah, get this job out of the road. What I also want to do, we've got 3 varieties of wheat kicking around here from you know, for seed and that sort of stuff, but it hasn't been graded. So what we might actually do is I've got fertiliser, urea, nitrogen coming next week, so we need to probably get that silo on the end here empty, and then we've got barley in that middle one, and then some wheat in that one, and there's some wheat over here in a field bin and stuff there with feeding grain. I've still got seed in the 2 silos out the back we're going to bring home here. I just wanted to keep the mother, we could have kept stripping corn and put it in the mother bin, but I just wanted to keep it empty for the contracting job. We'll have to take it with us. Not the first job, but the second job. So plan is, I think I'll speak to the guy where we're going over the river. They're doing road works between here and where we're going to go, which should be hopefully finished in the next day or two. So we'll get over there, and whether Sunday or something when it's quiet, and there's not much traffic around, we might get over there then and yeah, move the machines then perhaps. So anyway, we'll work that one out as it plays out. So morning, hope you're well. Just up here, sort of come up and have a look at the GM canola that we sowed. We've put what's it had, 40, what has it had on it? It's had 50 mil, basically 50 mil through the irrigator on it. It's pretty heavy sort of patch. Ground's pretty heavy here where we're looking. But yeah, it's coming. It's yeah, it's a bit steady. It could do with a shower of rain, to be honest. Yeah, doesn't, sort of funny. You can't beat natural rainfall for irrigation. Yeah, just something in it, a bit more oxygen, a bit more nitrogen, rather than putting it through the irrigator. But look, there's plenty of plants here, you can see here, so we'll have enough for a crop. We're a long way off sticking the windrower in it, I can tell you. So, but anyway, yeah, just hadn't been up here for a while, so probably doesn't. And this is where I'm a bit torn. This finished watering, like the irrigators, camera shows it up. Irrigator's just here, and would have come this way. So this is one of the first areas to have gotten watered, and it is still quite tacky, even with how warm the days are. So the evaporation's probably slowing down a bit. So my concern, I've sort of been a bit torn whether to irrigate some flood country. But I'm a bit concerned that looking at this, we probably made the right decision as far as it'll get too wet. And yeah, a lot of that stuff we can irrigate is stuff we want to graze. So we're just going to have to wait it out for it to rain, I think, there. And I actually had a guy I was messaging the other day, and their rule of thumb was, or his dad's rule of thumb was, you never will flood irrigate after the end of April. So we're now, a couple of days into May, so probably shows why. So look, every day it doesn't rain, we're a day closer to it raining, so we'll just have to wait it out. But yeah, I hadn't really come back and had another look at this since we put the last 25 mil water on it with the pivot. So yeah, but it's cranking, not too bad. So there'll be a few more plants come up, hopefully. It looks sort of, there's a better, where the stubble edge is there, the ground, the soil type changes, a bit of a red ridge. There's just a bit of a heavy clay area here in this corner. So I would imagine the rest of it will be pretty good. But I'll just also come up here to close these gates into here, because we've got some of the ewes where we've been carting the maize back and forth. We've just, in that paddock, the ewes have come out, which is fine. They didn't have a lot to eat in there though, so yeah, they can come out into the rice ground and into the corn ground. So I'll probably when we get a chance, the three smaller twin mobs will probably box them together, I think, just for ease of management now, and try and the sort of, 60 hectares here that they can, mooch around the rice banks and get a pick, and they'll be corn to, they don't really eat the rice, I don't think, but there'll be corn, obviously, in the corn stubbles that they'll be able to get in and get a pick at. So, yeah, that's sort of the plan. So they are out here, but I'm not sort of too stressed that they are. So, but yeah, just wanted to keep them off this, freshly sown stuff. Back into it. So we've got the bag set up. What I'm going to do, I'm actually using the good camera. So I'll try and move slow so it's not so jumpy and all the rest of it. What I'm going to do is I'll set the GoPro up as a time lapse. I tried to do that with the stack with my old GoPro, but it's a piece of poo and didn't want to work. So hang on, yeah. So I think we've got the fuel monitor sorted out too. It's just I've been starting the header a bit quickly in the mornings, and I sort of waited for it then, and it hasn't had a fit. So yeah, it's worked all right. Anyway, so we're pretty well up and back for a box full. Brendan's there behind me, see him in the mirror, but yeah, we'll do a UE up here at the end of the run, and we'll turn around and unload and head back the other way. But yield's still good, like it's, thinking it's hard to know doing what we're doing because we've just got no scales or anything, we're only sort of guessing, but on what chaser bin loads we've sort of been marking it on the window there of how many chaser bins we've taken, and they've all been sort of pretty well full ones. So yeah, sort of reckon we're around that 17 tonnes. So anyway, we'll get got 3 or 4 bays left here, so we'll get this done, and then we'll try and have a bit of a rough add up. Alright, we've got the bagger set up, so there's a bit of a trick to it. We're sort of getting the bag on. It's a bit of a man-killing job, but we got there. And then, yeah, we've rolled the end up in a stick of timber, and the boys thought we'll just stick a bale on the end of it to stop it from pushing out. So, yeah, so these bags are 75 metres long, and I think it'll hold about 220 tonne. So I don't think we'll fill it, but it'd be really good if we did. So anyway, I'll set the time lapse up here, and I'll go and jump back on the header. pointy end. Got about a bay left. We're full again, so we'll just pull up. Well, we found the last run. Yeah, we've got a fair, we'll have a look in a minute, but we've got a fair bag over there too by the looks of it, so yeah, no. It's good to get it done out of the road, so yeah, we'll poke on now and get a bit of contracting done. But yeah, no, good to get our own finished. We've just got to find a market for it now. We'll wait for the price to come up a little bit, one or two. But anyway, it's all, I think it'll worked out pretty well in the end. Alright, all done. So hopefully the time lapse turned out alright of the making the sausage. So all we've done at the end there, we've just got a bit of board and we've just rolled it up under itself a few times, and then we might stick a bale at this end as well. But the neighbours over there spraying. Yeah, so I think we've probably ended up with about 330, 350 tonne, which is, I haven't actually worked that out what it works back at. Just bear with me, I'll punch that in while I'm talking to you. If we say 350, I'll say 340. We won't be too greedy. We'll say 340 divided by 22 equals. We're about 16 tonne, so that's pretty good. And look, that's only a guess too. We've got no absolute. Really, I'm only just going off chaser bin loads and what the header's telling me. So the header's saying about 330, but there's no calibration there, so we don't know. So anyway, it's still going to come out all right. Cross margin wise, I could probably do some rough ones just on that 15 tonne. The price is sneaking up slowly, so I'm thinking we'll just hang on to it for a while. The plan is with the stack. Depends really on how long I'm going to hang on to it for, but I'd like to get it in some silos at some stage. So once we get sowing out of the road and we can get these other couple of silos back home like we've been talking about, yeah, we'll transfer it out of there into the silos. We've got a roll of silage tarp coming, so we'll get it Monday. It's not going to rain, so we can stay like that. We'll just the cockatoos will probably take a bit of a liking to it, but we'll get to give them a bit of a hurry up, even if we've got to sit a scare gun here. But they just generally turn up first thing in the morning and then nick off again. They don't hang around. So yeah, anyway, so no, that's corn harvest, first one for a fair while. So yeah, it was good. It's good to see good yields, and yeah, it's a bit of fun harvesting it because you're getting there's plenty of grain coming in the box. So all right, thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Ta-da.